and welcome to the Happy Valley for the Big Ten Outdoor Track and Field Championships. We are so glad you're with us for our championships. I got my championship crew, Sarah Kroll, Reed Connor. Glad you are with us here. We're going to start on the women's side. It's going to be exciting because Devin Charlton, we saw her score the most points indoors the last 2 years of any athlete, and finally we get a chance to see her race outdoors.
Big points are on deck for Charlton and the Boilermakers today. We'll catch her on the track 4 times today. Here she is, claiming the 60-meter indoor title as well as the 60-meter hurdle champion. Speaking of the hurdles, this is her event. Watch her show the Big Ten what she is all about today in the 100-meter hurdles.
Charlton hoping that things will be all boiled up today at the Big Ten Championships. And right now it is time for the women's 4x100-meter relay. Ohio State, they set the Big Ten record back in 2012, 43.70. And Sarah, I think this is going to be a really, really quick field. It should be very interesting down the stretch. Iowa comes in as maybe a slight favorite as they come in with a season best time of 44.34, but you can't count out Purdue because it's our first time today that we get to see Devin Charlton on the track.
Devin Charlton, there she is. She'll be our lead-off leg. Her hand-off to her teammate, Carmisha Cox, will be critical, as we saw in the men's races. Several missed handoffs, slow handoffs between the first and second exchanges. We'll see if this win plays a factor in the overall times here today.
And Britney Brown will finish off the relay for the Hawkeyes. They are hopeful that she will finish off as winners, but Purdue, the defending Big Ten champions in this event. The Hawkeyes, they were third at this event a year ago. And of course, you can't count out Minnesota because they're in lane number 3. Right now, they have a half-point advantage over Michigan in that team battle. So really, every point will count as well for Minnesota and those Golden Gophers.
Absolutely. Minnesota had a great showing yesterday, as well as Michigan, but we expect a lot of points from Purdue and Iowa on the sprint side. Purdue is the defending Big Ten champion in this event. They're coming here. They've got stuff to prove. They are ready to come home victorious today, but watch out for Iowa.
Clean start of the 4x1. Got to check out the battle in the middle. You see Charlton getting off to a really quick start for the Boilermakers, and she's going to hand it off to Cox as the Boilermakers all boiled up with the early lead. And man, looks like they've got a gigantic lead right now over Iowa. Halfway through this relay, Cox will hand it to Savannah Robertson. On the outside, Illinois is in the lead, but they're in that outside lane, so Purdue in the lead as they hand it to Carlson, trying to hold off Minnesota, who's currently running second. Penn State is third. And the Boilermakers, they're going to be the Big Ten champions. And how about Minnesota from lane number 3?
Huge race for Minnesota, but we've got to give it to the Purdue Boilermakers. Their handoffs were clean. We can see it here. The second handoff has been the hardest one of the day, but they get it off clean. Heading into the final exchange, Savannah Carson, our long jump champion, has a huge lead going into the finish line. Minnesota tried to make it close, but Carson brought home 10 points for the Boilermakers.
A crucial third leg for you guys. You were able to hold off Minnesota, who made a late charge. How crucial was that third leg to set you up for the anchor?
Talk to you guys after.
I know you've got a couple more events to go. How does this help you guys get some momentum going into finals?
I mean, this gives us a good lead off, so we're able to finish strong.
All right, congratulations.
Some big points for the Boilermakers, and it's really intriguing because Iowa really not in the picture at all, not what we expected. Some big points for Minnesota as they finish second, and Ohio State, they got a great final leg from Taylor DeRoche to finish third overall in the women's 4x1. In the long jump indoors, we saw Purdue's Savannah Carlson win. Busy day competing both high jump and long jump, but she completes the indoor-outdoor long jump sweep with her jump of 21 feet, 2 3/4 of an inch. And look at how tight things are women's team standings with 10 of the 21 events scored, just a half point separating Michigan and Minnesota. Remember, these two teams tied for the title last year with 106 points. It's going to be a thrilling finish on the team battle, and we just got a chance to see Aaron Mallett defend his title in the 110 hurdles, and now all the attention turns to Devin Charlton. As a sophomore, she was the Big Ten athlete of the championship with 23 points, but missed the entire outdoor season and an opportunity to compete in Rio because of an injury. Athlete of the championship once again indoors, and the good news is she's going to race here against Kim Golding, who is third in the 100 meters, and it's great to see Charlton just get a chance to race outdoors.
Absolutely. Charlton is the one to watch in this event. She's run a new PR this year, 12:89. That puts her at number 6 in the NCAA. She is the class of this field.
So Charlton is going to be in lane number 5, right in the middle. Golding in lane number 7, and again, in that team picture, it's important for Minnesota to really get those points. They got some points in a big way in the relays early on.
Minnesota has 2 athletes in this field in lane 2 and in lane 7. Michigan does not have any athletes contesting in the hurdles.
Good start for Charlton, right there in the middle, wearing number 5. She's out to the early lead. Golding trying to challenge her, though. Also in lane number 2, Spinola trying to move up, but it's going to be all about Devin Charlton. What she does indoors, she takes outdoors, and she's a Big Ten champion in the 100-meter hurdles.
Wicked fast time of 12:67. She had that wind at her back, pushing her over the hurdles. She ran away with it. Minnesota came up very good for big points behind her, but Charlton got out very aggressively from the start, over the hurdle before anybody else, and she just continues to pull away over the length of this 100-meter race. Watch Charlton, impeccable form. She's not hitting any hurdles. Another Big Ten championship to her resume for this outdoor championship. She was a part of the 4x1 winning relay team today, and here she is taking home the 100-meter hurdles.
Devin Charlton yet again rising to the occasion at the Big Ten championships. It looked like it was a flawless race from you. How significant was it for that 4x1 to give you the momentum going into this race?
I think it was pretty significant. You know, it was just a good warm-up. Gave me a chance to really loosen out before I came and did the hurdles.
Another Big Ten title for you, but how significant is this one as your team is looking to contend for that team title and they needed that 10 points?
Yeah, that's really what it's about right now. I'm just trying to get as many points as I can for my team. We're after the Big Ten title, and any set of points count.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Charlton, just like her counterpart on the men's side, that's a Big Ten record if they decide that it's win legal. Obviously, we'll have to wait to find that out. Golding finishes 2nd, and how about Minnesota? They get 2nd and 3rd in the 100-meter hurdles. And on the women's side, Minnesota, they built quite a lead. They got 14 points in their last event, and they are now ahead of Michigan, with Purdue and Penn State 3rd and 4th. And now it is time to turn our attention to the women's 400-meter dash, and a chance for Minnesota to get even more points is Emerald Egum, who didn't compete outdoors a season ago. She has the Minnesota record indoors, and a chance for Egum to pick up 10 more points. But she's going to have to get through Thomas and a bunch of really great Boilermakers.
Thomas is an interesting story so far this outdoor season. She was our Big Ten indoor champion at 400 meters, but she hasn't raced much outdoors. Emerald Egum yesterday ran a huge personal best of 51.99 in the prelims. It's number 5 in the country. Watch for her to be contested from Misha Powell, the senior from Maryland. She scored at her last 5 Big Ten indoor and outdoor championships.
Yeah, Powell, a Canadian Olympian, was on Canada's 4x4 team in Rio. 4th last year in this event, and she's trying to become just the 3rd ever Maryland Terrapin to win an outdoor individual title. Egum, though, in lane number 5, this is an important race for her and for Minnesota.
Great start for these women here. We saw in the men's 400, they still ran very fast times despite being in the headwind on the back stretch here.
Now with her international experience wearing number 6, got out to the early lead, but here comes Egum. Here comes Minnesota as they head to the final turn. Powell is the leader, headed to the final turn. 2 of the freshmen from Purdue trying to move up on the inside, Chloe Abbott and Miller, but they're all chasing Powell right now at this moment. But Egum has turned it on down the final stretch. The Gopher Jr. with the final kick. 10 more big points coming, and how about Thomas with her finish as Thomas comes from behind to finish 2nd overall.
Great finish for Thomas as we expected, but big props to Egum. She adds 10 points to that Minnesota total as they continue to pull away this team title. Watch her finish here. She's holding them off despite the late charge from Brianna Thomas of Purdue. She's got enough ground to get to that finish line first to bring home 10 more points and an individual Big Ten championship in the women's 400 meters.
With a personal best, and she is going to add to the women's team total here. Minnesota, some more big points as they extend their lead over Michigan. Just 13.5 points separates Minnesota and Purdue as we try to find out who's the fastest female in the Big Ten. The women's 100-meter dash is ready and on the track, and Purdue is well represented in this final. Savannah Carson, indoor and outdoor long jump champion, a runner-up in the high jump. We're going to get to see her speed here. But all eyes are going to be on Charleston, who is trying to get yet another Big Ten title.
Charlton is looking for her 3rd title of the day, but watch for Britney Brown. We saw her in the 4x1. She did not run at the Musco Invite meet earlier this year to save herself for this Big Ten championships. We'll see her in the 200 meters earlier, but have to note there's 4 Purdue women in this field of 9. Huge points are on deck for the Boilermakers in this 100-meter dash.
Yeah, Brown, the 200-meter champion indoors and runner-up in the 60. Trying to break up these Boilermakers who are well represented in the final. Devin Charlton, though, she's going to be in lane number 5.
Charlton is the most decorated athlete in this field. She's now has 7 Big Ten titles to her resume. We will see if Britney Brown can contest.
Good start by Charlton in 5, right out of the gate. Brown trying to catch up to her. Also in lane number 2, Cox getting out to a good lead, but it's all about Devin Charlton as she runs away with it. Britney Brown will finish 2nd, but another point for Purdue where they're all boiled up here at Penn State because they've got another Big Ten title.
Athletes like Charlton do not come around often. This is her 3rd title of the day. She gets a phenomenal start here ahead of her teammate. You can see Savannah Carson with a great start as well. But as she progresses through this 100-meter, she has enough strength to pull away from her teammates and Iowa's Britney Brown for her 3rd title of the day.
3 for 3 for you, Devin Charlton. How huge was this event from a team perspective, and how much strength did you have with so many teammates around you?
Yeah, it was very big because we're still in the running for the team title, so all of us are just trying to put as many points up on the board as possible.
And speaking of putting points on the board, you still have an event left to go. Do you have a little left in the tank for the 200?
Yeah, I do. So I'm looking forward to that. Just giving it my all right now, leaving it all on the track.
Congratulations. We'll see you back out there.
24 points for Purdue right there in the women's 100. That's enough to move them in front of Minnesota. They now lead the Gophers by 7.5 points because they've got 90 points. Another win for Charlton. Men's and women's 800 meters when we come back to Happy Valley. Choquette, an Urbana native, grew up right there at Illinois. 600-meter indoor champion in 2015. The runner-up indoors in the 800 a year ago, trying to win the championship, but I'm assuming that this is a special moment for Danae Rivers. Not every athlete gets a chance to compete for a Big Ten title at home. And she's going to try to win the title as a freshman on the outside.
We've got 2 Penn State athletes in this field, 2 IU and 2 Michigan athletes. So look for some team changes in the standings here. We've got our Big Ten 1,500 meter champion from earlier, also Jamie Phelan in this race. She's out here with something to prove to try to come home with her second championship of the day. But Rachel Weber, as to be expected, is leading this 800 meter, 200 meters in.
A good start for the senior from Ohio State. She's in front of Jamie Phelan, who we saw sneak through earlier and win this race. And it's Jeannie Morsey, the junior from Michigan.
Jamie Morsey has something to prove here today. She did not make the 1,500 meter finals. We'll see if she can run a good last lap for her Michigan teammates. But watch for Kiara McIntosh from Purdue. She's usually a miler. She's dropped down in distance. She also ran a PR yesterday in the prelims. We could see her mixing it up at the finish line as well.
Well, the Boilermakers, they've won only 1 team title. It came back in 2001. They're in the lead, so still every point in these races can be critical to the team total. Rivers trying to move up. She's trying to move around Morsey, trying to get in front of Weber as they head to the final turn. But Rivers, the freshman, currently running third with the senior from Ohio State in the lead. 2 upperclassmen leading the charge. Rivers trying to get one final stretch.
100 meters to go. We'll see if Rivers can take down Weber.
Rivers trying to move around Weber. Those 2 running neck and neck, but Rivers is taking it into another gear, and the freshman is fabulous at home.
Phenomenal finish for both of those women. As I mentioned earlier, Rachel Weber has not finished higher than 8th. She comes home runner-up in the 800 meters today, but...
What a phenomenal race by the Nittany Lion freshman. Danae Rivers comes from behind in the final stretch to win a 2:04.14. Back at Happy Valley, we're getting closer to finding out which teams will take home the hardware at the Big Ten Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Penn State right now leading the men's, and Purdue. The last time they won a title, it was 2001. It was their only Big Ten Outdoor Track and Field Championship. They have the advantage over Minnesota with 14 of the 21 events scored. And this is an important moment in this championship for Purdue, looking for just their 2nd title ever outdoors. Simone Black goes, and she's going to be one of the favorites, the fastest prelim qualifier. Against Maryland's got Lisa Minot, the senior. She's 2nd in the Big Ten. And Brianna Dietrich, the senior from Wisconsin. She had a personal best indoors this season. But back to the story about Purdue is they right now are in the lead over Minnesota. But the sprint events, that's the key for the Boilermakers if they're going to win the team title.
Purdue is very deep indeed in the sprint events. They will look to Simone Black. She's the junior in lane 5. She's got significantly the fastest time in this event. I would be shocked if anyone is able to challenge her. However, we have seen the wind play a factor in these races all day long. She was runner-up in this event last year. We gotta believe that she came here today wanting to go home with a Big Ten gold medal in this event.
Simone Black wearing black right there in the middle. Look at how quick she is out, making up that stagger right away. She just looks smooth going over the hurdles.
Very smooth. You can tell here on the screen easily she's hitting that hurdle well before the rest of the field. She's not concerned about the win. She's here to make a statement.
Black, she's taken over this race. She's got it at a completely different level. Lisa Minot, the senior from Maryland, on the final turn trying to move up, but it's all about Black trying to get Purdue just their 2nd ever team title. Could she get 10 more points for the Boilermakers? Black is going to hold off the Maryland senior Minot. She's going to win the 400-meter hurdles, and now Purdue has 105 points as a team. Incredible. Another Boilermaker win here at Penn State.
With 100 meters to go, you can see some of these other athletes are trying to challenge Black, but she came here to make a statement. She was victorious with a time of 56:01. That's a lifetime personal best. It shows why she's ranked number 5 in the NCAA in this event. Let's take a look at one more look. Look at this huge gap that she has in this event. 10 points for Purdue in the 400-meter hurdles.
All right, Simone, a remarkable race from you. The wind was certainly a contender, but what was tougher, the field of competition or the wind that you were battling on the track?
Probably the wind. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to Ruth Phillips, my mom, and Stacy Turner.
Certainly very proud after that performance.
Yes, I just knew I had to get out. I knew the win was going to be tough, but it's just who wants it more.
And you were battling for that team title right now. Sprints are a big priority. How significant was that race for you guys?
Yeah, I knew that I had to do my job just to bring our team together so we could possibly win the championship.
Congratulations.
The battle carries on between Purdue and Minnesota. Black gets 10 more points for the Boilermakers. Meanwhile, Emma Spagnola finishes 4th for Minnesota, getting some important points for the Golden Gophers. 200 meters back on the track when we come back to Happy Valley. So we got two fresh teams, if you will, trying to get in the mix of this Big Ten title. Penn State trying to win their first, Purdue trying to win their second. The picture is a lot tighter on the women's side with just 9.5 points separating Purdue and Minnesota, and it's another chance to see Devin Charlton. It's probably, you'd think that she's got to be exhausted after all of these races that she's ran so far today, and we're going to see Charlton going up against Britney Brown, will be the junior in lane number 5.
Brown does have the fastest time in the Big Ten in this event, but watch out for Charlton. While she is in lane 9 and she won't have the luxury of seeing athletes, she has to run blind. She is going for her 4th title of the day. She's already earned 22.5 points so far in the 100, the 100 hurdles, and the 4x1. In lane 4, we have the senior Aaliyah Barnes. She was 3rd in the 100 meters earlier today. She's a 2-time Big Ten champion and has the 4th fastest time in this event so far.
And check out Purdue. Once again, if they are going to win this Big Ten championship, it's going to be because of how dominant they have been in the sprinting events. 4 Boilermakers represented in this field, as well as Savannah Robertson, who could challenge for the title as well.
4 Boilermakers is huge. One thing my coach at Michigan State always told us is that the 200, the 5K, and the 4x4 finish it up and set the tone for successful teams at the Big Ten championships. Purdue could put it away here in this event.
Devin Charlton, she's going to be all the way on the outside in lane number 9. So Charlton is going to get out first, and she's going to be the one to try to catch this entire race in the 200. Britney Brown, though, making up the stagger very quick in lane number 5, right there in the middle. And Brown is looking very good early on. It's all about Britney Brown. It's all about the Hawkeyes in the 200 meters.
Britney Brown saved herself by not running at the Musco Twilight meet to come here and be victorious, backing up her indoor 200-meter Big Ten championship with 10 points here in the outdoor title today. She ran away with it. Let's take one more look here. Very strong, very poised down the finish line. 10 points for Britney Brown.
The story is Purdue. They get 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, as the Boilermakers now have 125 points. building their lead well over Minnesota with just a couple of events remaining still in Happy Valley. It's the final event at Happy Valley before we hand out the hardware. And on the women's side, Purdue, they basically locked it up as well with 125 points. The battle is for second between Minnesota and Penn State. And before the Boilermakers can get all boiled up, they can only wait and watch, awaiting their moment to celebrate a Big Ten championship.
Awaiting they are, and their women's 4x4 has a chance to do something special and still walk away with a 4x4 relay championship. But keep an eye out to challenge the Purdue Boilermakers is Ohio State. They're in lane number 5. They've got the #1 time in the Big Ten.
Minnesota will be in lane number 8. Ohio State in lane number 5. And there is the Penn State Indy Lions, who are battling down the stretch again. The difference of what happens between those teams is going to decide who finishes second at this year's championship. There's our lane assignments. Final event of the Big Ten championships, women's 4x4.
Hey, Ben. How are you? What's up? I know. You live around here?
Final event underway here at Happy Valley. Ohio State, they have a very strong final relay here.
Indeed they do. Ohio State is currently number 9 in the NCAA. They have a lot of experience in the 4x4 relay. They earned All-American honors this past year at the 2017 NCAA Indoor Championships, placing 5th. I have a feeling that they are definitely the team to beat here. On paper, they look the best to me.
Early on, Nebraska and Kira Griggs in the lead. As we get set for the first of 4 exchanges, Hannon running the first leg for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and basically the Buckeyes and the Cornhuskers passing the baton almost at the same time.
We'll see who gets to this cut-in first here. On the second leg is when the cut-in into lane 1 occurs. We've noticed the wind heavy on the backstretch all day. We'll see if that plays a factor. But so far, Carrington Winters is in the lead for Ohio State. She was our Big Ten indoor 600-meter champion, so she's dropping down in distance, but what a sizable lead she has.
And man, Winters, she's looking smooth out there, isn't she?
Very smooth indeed. She's got about a 15-20-meter lead here, handing it off to her teammate, Maggie Berry, for exchange number 2, lap number 3.
Ohio State in the lead, followed by Purdue and Nebraska. Halfway through the 4x4, Maggie Berry will run for the Buckeyes. Simone Black running for Purdue. Nebraska still trying to battle out. Right now, Minnesota, they're going to have to make some big headway if they're going to finish second overall.
It's important to note we can see Penn State and Minnesota right there, right behind each other. They're battling for second place. But right now, we can see Ohio State out front, but Simone Black, our 400-meter hurdle champion, is slowly making up that gap on the Ohio State Buckeyes as they approach the last leg of this relay.
Well, the battle for second goes on, and the Gophers with an advantage over Penn State as we head to the final lap of this relay. Simone Black gonna send it off to Thomas, who had such a phenomenal championship. The Buckeyes have Aaliyah Barnes racing.
This is going to be a very exciting finish for Ohio State and Purdue. Almost an exact replica of our indoor championships when Thomas overtook Ohio State at the line for a championship. We can see she's not ready to make the pass here yet, but we'll see if Aaliyah Barnes, she was 3rd in the 100 and scored also in the 200 earlier today, is able to hold her off.
Final turn. Barnes and the Buckeyes are in the lead, but Purdue, they've got other ideas. Here comes Thomas trying to get to the outside. Barnes trying to hold her off as Ohio State looks to take both of the 4x4s, and the Buckeyes will do it. But for Purdue, they're still going to celebrate the championship. And Minnesota, with a 4th place finish, they're going to finish 2nd overall.
Phenomenal finish for Minnesota to overtake Penn State on their home track to claim that 2nd place. But all eyes are on Purdue. They came here expecting to win with a very strong sprint squad, and they will go home the 2017 Big Ten Outdoor Track and Field champions.
Man, what a week, what a performance by Devin Charlton. We told you about what she had done indoors. We hadn't seen it outdoors yet because of injury, but she came in and she replicated it today. And Lara is down with the winners.
Devin, what a day for Purdue. What did it take to put this type of team performance together and take a title back to West Lafayette?
At the end of the day, it just took all of us trusting in each other, trusting our coaches, just trusting our ability, and putting it all together on this day.
Just the 3rd time in Purdue history that you guys have taken home a team title, a lot of individual titles. But what does this mean to you to be able to celebrate this alongside your teammates?
It means everything. I think we had it a long time coming, and to finally pull off the win, it's amazing. I love this group of women right here. They worked hard.
All right, ladies, give me a little boiler up.
Boiler up.
Hey, we got to do it the right way now, all right? We got to do it the right way. So we do it at home. This is something we've been talking about.
The results from the final women's event. Ohio State in front of Purdue. They'll finish 2nd in the 4x4, but for just the 2nd time in school history, they are outdoor champions. When we come back, we will wrap up the championship here at Happy Valley. Stay with us on the Big Ten Network. Penn State and Purdue celebrating here at Happy Valley. They are the 2017 Big Ten Outdoor Track and Field champions. Women's final team scores. Purdue wins it with 133 points. Minnesota finishing 2nd with 105.5 points.